Hello and welcome. I would like to say that there will be a stream today where I will be giving away a Tirpitz and a Biscoiza. All you have to do is come to the stream and hang around there, and eventually two people will walk away with a ship. Hopefully it won't be me this time. Anyways, this is a match from yesterday's stream where I gave away 3 Dianas, and in this match I am playing the tier 10 US carrier, the Midway. Which is pretty surprising considering, at least for the people who watch me regularly, they know how stream ruining me playing carriers can be. Anyways, I did the usual. I launched my torpedo bombers first, then fighters, and then dive bombers. My plan is to try to go for, well, anything but the enemy carrier, because I don't want him to come for me. And this Hindenburg seems to be showing a nice broadside. Remember, I haven't played carriers in like months, or maybe 1 or 2 games at most. And I haven't played the game in quite a while either, so my drops aren't the best, but this Hindenburg drop was actually pretty good, even though they used their defensive fire cooldown, but they still lost like 75% of their HP. Also, thank you for the kind donation, Deadly Silence. He was one of the people that won the Diana, that's why it said thank you for the ship. Anyways, it seems the enemy Midway is intent on striking me, but he flew the wrong way, so I think he lost like one of his torpedo bombers or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'll start moving, and then I will start turning into the torpedo bombers, and then I will slow down. The intent on starting to move is to show him that I sped up, but my plan is to always, okay, not always, but most of the time to slow down and turn. This way that they will lead too much and they will miss. I don't know what to do with my dive bombers because I think it'll be difficult to hit the cruiser with them, so I'll try hitting this DD instead. And we are pretty, I mean, if you look at the title of the video, we have 2. Or rather, the enemy has 2 caps, and they are getting the 3rd, and we don't even have 1. So this is pretty bad. I think I made a mistake by repairing the fire immediately. But, I mean, that was just fat fingering, but he missed his next shot, so it's okay, because of anti-air killing most of the planes, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me, because I wasn't set on fire. Anyways, I will still ignore the enemy Midway because his torpedo bomber strike did almost nothing to me. I mean, it literally did nothing, and dive bombers only did a bit of damage. So I will try to focus on other things because the situation is actually pretty dire. We are behind 1 ship, but that's okay because it's still the beginning of the game. The more troublesome part is the fact that they have 3 of the caps and we have none. So even if we, play well and are winning by ships, it'll be pretty difficult to win unless we can get like multiple caps very quickly. And it doesn't seem like we are in a position to get them. We have a Gearing, which is nice. They don't have a tier 10 carrier, destroyer, but they have a Yamato and a Hindenburg. We don't have a 3rd tier 10, I think. Anyways, I didn't know what to do. I was thinking of going to strike the battleship at D, the North Carolina or the Yamato. I'm not sure which. Anyways, I don't think the enemy carrier will strike me again. I will fight his fighters with my fighters. We both strafed for the first attack, and then we turn around and go attack each other's fighters. Anyways, I think he isn't going to come for me because, you saw how poorly the first drop went, so the likelihood of him following up is, would you try to strike the guy again who literally dodged your entire torpedo bomber strike and took like 500 damage from all your planes combined? I wouldn't. I would go pick any of the other 10 targets. Especially because I am not going for him, so he has a little reason to go for me. And I think Yamato is good thing to take out early, especially if it's possible now, because if the Yamato gets like 2 or 3 repairs off, he is gonna get like 60 or 50,000 HP. I do the drop kinda poorly here though. I dropped too far away, but I mean, I just haven't played the game in a while, with carriers especially. So it just isn't gonna do that well. This drop should have taken the Yamato out fully, but it's okay. I will try to follow up with my dive bombers. I mean, as you saw, I didn't really use my dive bombers properly earlier anyway, so might as well do it here. Also, the Yamato is mad because people are striking at him with carriers. I mean, why would the class that counters you try to attack you? That's ludicrous, isn't it? Like, if you were in a destroyer, it would be crazy to get attacked by a cruiser, right? Right? That's how the game works, right? They have 4 of the caps, we have none. Remember, capping wins games. Well, you know, so we're gonna lose, right? 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 Anyways, he got 3 fires. So I think he's pretty dead, because he doesn't have damage control party, because he had to use it on the torpedoes. So he's dead, I think. Anyway. But we definitely need some caps, and luckily we are getting A and potentially C. We don't really need it so much for us, but just to have enemies not have it, because they are at 600 points even though they have lost a battleship, and we haven't. So the situation would be pretty poor if they had all 4 caps ticking away. Especially if they suddenly killed a few of our ships. That would just spell the end of the match. I tried to still keep my fighter around to fight enemy fighters, because that's the main thing that is going to ruin things for me. Like, the main fear is the fact that I use my fighters on something like dive bombers or 1 torpedo bomber squadron, and then when I try to do a drop, he uses his fighters in a skillful way, and suddenly I can't do anything with my full drop, and I only ruin half of his drop. That's why I want to fight his fighter instead of other things, especially dive bombers, because I think hitting dive bombers is kind of a waste. Torpedo bombers is okay, like in this situation. I think that battleship is gonna run aground, so I will just... Actually, I messed up here. He could strafe me and I wouldn't be able to do much against it, but sadly, or luckily, he didn't. Anyways, that battleship is gonna run aground, so it's going to be a super easy torpedo bomber drop. We have A, which is good, finally, and we are still contesting C. But still, I think it would be good if somebody on our team took B, or at least stopped the enemies from getting points from it. I think I missed that drop again. I mean, I dropped it way too far. That is, I'm still not used to it, I guess. But this North Cal is pretty dead. I don't see him getting out of this anyway. Like, look at how far away I'm dropping, and I'm still killing these ships. So it's not an issue of, oh, they dropped so close, I couldn't do anything to react. Because you can do something to react. You saw it when I did it. And carriers are like the least maneuverable ships in the game. So anyways, my plan here is to set this North Cal on fire, have him use a damage control party, and then set him on fire again for some delicious damage. Wow, I did quite a bit of damage with these dive bombers here. That's incredible. At some point I do have to start fighting the enemy carrier, because I don't want to be torpedoing destroyers. That's gonna be way too difficult. And yeah, the North Cal used his repair, so I can just follow up with my dive bombers again. And we have A and B, which is very good. I mean, it's still bad. If we lost like a battleship, this game could suddenly be over. So getting a kill soon is incredibly important. And this is why I think capping wins games, because even in this kind of a situation we are doing pretty poorly. Like, we are on the verge of losing. Luckily it's gearing against the Fletcher. I just hope our gearing pulls it off and wins the fight. I think that NordCal is dead. So the next target of contention is the enemy carrier. And excellent, the gearing managed to not lose the fight, which is very nice. So now it's time to go for the enemy carrier, I think. And it seems the enemy carrier is upset with our friendly cruiser having defensive fire, which I can relate to as an occasional carrier player. Because that cruiser is sitting next to the battleship, and you can't really do much in such a situation. In this case, I don't need to strafe, I think. I can just go attack straight up, because even if he does strafe, he's still gonna lose, because the fight is above our friendly battleship and cruiser. Although it's not that close, so the full AA isn't gonna work, but some of it is, so it's definitely gonna help me out. I think I'll pull one of the torpedo bombers over onto this Hindenburg, because I'm afraid that Hindenburg is gonna take out those two friendly ships that are over there, and then the game suddenly ends. I click far away so the marker doesn't stop me, and I drop with enough lead, even though, you know, the defensive fire is gonna work, but I only need 1 or 2 torpedo hits, and that's going to be it for the Hindenburg. Excellent! Now it's time to drop for the Midway. I watched this drop because he's turning inside, and I led a bit too much. But it's okay, I still got the flooding, which is what I wanted. On top of that, because of the way that he had to turn, he might run aground or get very close to that. And he did, which makes follow-up attacks way easier. Anyways, it's a 3 against 3 now. Both have a Midway, a DD, and a cruiser, which is surprising. And both have 2 cups too, but they have 900 points and we have 400. So if I suddenly died, the game would be over. Luckily, we are in a position to potentially take C, and now we have a ship's lead, but points are still pretty poorly against us. There's still 6 minutes left though, which is good. The Midway still hasn't repaired the flooding, but I will do dive bomber drop to follow up, because I am afraid of the Midway launching more planes, which would be unfortunate. Anyways, I saw the torpedo bombers incoming, so I did the same thing I did earlier. I slowed down and turned towards the torpedo bombers. I took 1 torpedo from this, which is way superior to the enemy Midway. I will follow up with this dive bomber group, because the Midway probably isn't going to repair until right before my dive bombers hit. And that could be enough time to actually, you know, deal a lot of damage to the Midway and potentially kill him. But unluckily, I only got 3 hits that were, none of them actually did like massive damage. Anyways, I did the same. I didn't repair the flooding. I waited until I was set on fire. And then I repaired and set my fighters to hit the enemy dive bombers, so that dive bombers couldn't drop on me and set me on fire again. And now the Midway is at 5000 HP, and I just need like 1 torpedo hit and he is dead. Hopefully this doesn't hit me and set me on fire. Oh my god. 3 dive bombers that are being attacked by fighters, and they are able to set me on fire. That's BS. Luckily my torpedo bombers were already in the air, so it's okay. And because of the earlier trades, it seems that I have a fighter lead. He can't do a full group, so I just pull one of my torpedo bombers away and the other on the other side, so that I can drop from both sides. And luckily it seems that my friendly cruiser and destroyer were able to clear up the enemy cruiser and destroyer, and we're gonna get the decap too, which is incredibly good. And I drop this way so I can do a quick drop, because I only need 1 torpedo hit and then the game's over. And that's it. What a close match though. Like, we were 1 step away from losing for like half the battle here, I think. which is rather incredible that we still won. And remember, I haven't played carriers in like a month or two, and I haven't played the game for like 2 weeks. I got Kraken Unleashed, High Caliber and Witherer. 45 plane kills, 10 fires, 25 torpedo hits, and 5,000 experience. 2,591 base experience, but some random gearing still got more. It's only 16 more, but still. He got 3 kills, I got 5, and 45 planes shot down. Still, somehow the gearing got more, but I guess it's just capping. I mean, the gearing definitely played well, but I don't know, I think I did quite well. This is 270,000 damage. And remember, I hit the Hindenburg and killed him. Essentially, I did almost all of the damage on the Hindenburg. I did half the HP of the Yamato, and I did all of the damage on the Midway. Those are all tier 10 ships. I took care of all of the enemy tier 10 ships. That's pretty crazy that I was still beaten by a DD who just kept a few bases. But I guess, it happens. Anyways, if you look at the amount of credits I made, I actually only made like 369,000 credits here. With premium it would have been like 550k. The total amount is so high because I finished like a challenge or something. So anyways, remember, in a few hours at 5 PM GMT plus 0, I'm going to do a stream, and during that stream at some point I will give away tidbits and Biscuit sites, both EU and NA from what I can understand. So if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.